Please try again. Hello,
yeah.
everybody. Now I think we're live. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the StarMaker Bolin Show. I am college football expert Pat McAfee. To my left or right, depending on which side of the screen. When I look at him, he's on my right. You
Depending
may
which
see him
arm
on
you're
the
looking
left.
at.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
The man
really
who's too cool to be seen live on television, and so he's live on YouTube.
live on
Kenny,
YouTube.
the StarMaker Bolin.
No, they don't pay enough for TV these days. You got to haul in that big YouTube money. Now, last night we said, excuse me?
I said, yes, you're correct.
What the hell? You got a bag of Lay's over there? What the hell are you doing? What is Renee Dupree out of work or something?
Ritz crackers.
Now is Renee back podcasting again, or are they doing best of shows over there?
I don't watch Renee's show, so I don't know.
Well, it's
if you're one of the many in the audience, if you're one of the thousands watching online, please let us know.
No
if
offense
Renee's
to Renee.
show is.
No offense to Renee, but I don't watch hardly anybody's podcast. So
No, neither do I. I don't even watch this
you
one.
You would think a professional podcaster since 2007, because I don't think Chris Schmidt has a podcast he doesn't listen to. And there's lots of people out there like that just they don't miss a podcast. I don't know how they make time for all of them. I'm retired. I'm home all day. I could watch as many and listen to as many podcasts as I want. And the only one I ever gave a shit to see or hear was Steve Austin's. And I hear he's not really doing any more of the new ones on TV. And that wasn't really a podcast. That's a sit-down TV interview.
Right.
That's not a podcast. What he and I did was a podcast. You know, when he'd have me on and we'd, do the shit we do here. But we'll see if we can break last night's show. I was on 11 minutes. And the reason being the same thing we're doing with over here right now. I have the chat lit up. There just ain't nobody in there. Let me make sure it's working. Yeah, it's working. There it is. It's working. We had 7 or 8 people watching. And then there might be a lot of people watching college football tonight. I don't know how many Alabama, Oklahoma, Auburn, Notre Dame fans there are. I think Notre Dame's got their game looking pretty good. Alabama in deep shit, to say the least, right now. And I think Auburn has an opportunity to turn out to be a decent game. Guys, if somebody don't say something or do something quick,
we're not doing this for just. I mean, Kenny and I can talk offline.
Yeah, we could call each other on our landline.
Yes.
Call me on my landline. Shout out to the sponsors real quick. Now, Bear knows I'll be having next week for the pay-per-view. Harabas had us over tonight. What a meal. What a fucking meal. I'm sure they appreciate the R-rated description of what a meal it was. And we'll follow. So any Americans watching the show? Do we have any Americans? So Paul RJ with a howdy from.
Hello, Paul RJ.
What's in that bag?
Ritz crackers. I'm going to move them.
Do you know how irritating that bag is?
I'm going to move them far away.
I'm going to go get me a big bag of. I actually have some discount Fritos in my cabinet, and it's a big one. I could probably make it last the whole show if you would like.
Well, at this rate, it may not take long.
It might not take long. The whole show, yeah, if I can eat that whole bag in under 11 minutes. I think last night we peaked at, I think we got as many as 34 in here. Something like that, but maybe it was 24. It wasn't many. Oh, it was about 20 because we went live at 6:30. I thought that was going to be a great marketing ploy. 1:52 p.m. on Sunday.
And give those people a chance.
What kangaroo told you that's what I want to know. And so I came on here tonight basically to do our NFL picks. We might have to get Coltrane's shipped in from wherever he's at. And you notice I didn't even put him on the meme tonight. You saw the meme I made.
I did.
That's what I did.
Actually,
I recycled one of those thousands of memes that we have saved. And I said, well, I don't know why I would bother to put Coltrane on a meme. He ain't going to be here. He did shock us the other night when he showed up.
He did.
And I was going to ask you if you were tempted to break out a pair of scissors and trim your bangs the other night. Is that what you've done?
No, they're just.
Yourself, or did you go get it done?
No, it's not been trained. They're just.
You washed it and it shrank?
Yeah, no, it's out of the way. Kind of like
Uh,
did I did
well,
I
they
did
they
trim
did
the
my hair
beard. I got
today,
rid
and
of
I
the
never
beard.
like. They did my hair today, and I never really like how they dry it and comb it because they do their own thing, and I normally have to fix. But I didn't take the time to fix it when I got home, which means I have to rewash it, re-dry it, brush it, all that shit. But
The
this
bangs
is
are
what
getting a bit long. I'm gonna have to work on
they're
that.
getting a little long, getting a little sheepdogish there, a little sheepdogish. But no, I got mine done today, and then after we got our hair done, we went over to the good folks at Carrabba's. Shout out to Sarah and the other manager's name, Taylor. Sarah and Taylor. Taylor come over to our table tonight. She was the one that got one of my autographed books. I gave them another autographed book tonight. The waitress that waited on me said, "Oh, you're the comic book guy." I said, "Comic book guy?" She says, "Yeah, remember you gave me your book." I said, "Well, honey, it's not a comic book." She says, "Oh, well, it had artwork on the cover. I thought you did comic books." I said, "No, I don't do comic books."
Obviously, she's
So,
read the book thoroughly. So
yeah, she said she hadn't read a page of it. She put it up. I had not read a page of the book. Rachel, she's 24, I think, and her name is Emily. So shout out to Emily, our waitress, who did a lovely job. Taylor was one of the assistant general managers, and then Sarah, the general manager, who put together our deal at Carrabba's. We do have a challenge tonight, but he says in order for us to get it, someone else in here, at least a combined effort, needs to match it. I think they learned something from Good Chris the other day. Is our good friend, you're a big fan of him, Robert Palmer. We can't get an American to associate themselves with this show. Robert Palmer said he would donate $30 tonight if we could get anybody else to do the same. And that is the only challenge that I have so far. Well, and plus, we never guaranteed we were even doing a show tonight. This was the 6 o'clock idea was just so horrible. I do it all for you, Carla. Here at LOL, doing my show right now. One of my old high school friends, who was actually a year or so ahead of me in school, is a very political person that has met the mooch a time or two. She does radio. She does radio and television, and also worked for the Democratic Party in New York. Her name's Carla Hall, and a longtime dear friend of mine. Used to come to my apartment when I was probably 16 years old. And I had the biggest crush on her, but she was a year or two ahead of me in school. I never thought she gave me the time of day, but we have been dear friends. She's come up with a friend of mine named Gayla. And they mainly visited my mother. My mother and Gayla Hicks were good friends. And but me and Carla have stayed friends forever and ever and ever. And which going back to 1974, I guess, is when I first met her. And we never dreamed each other would be so political, a couple of people from LaGrange, Kentucky, but we've been trying to console each other since the happenings of a few days ago. And then when we see these cabinet picks, we're going like, what do you do? What do you do? So we only got 11, and that includes us opening Facebook up again tonight. Well, we got 12 now. So we're probably not going to be here long. I'm hoping somebody will have the decency to match that $30 donation. We shall see. You've got money. Oh, my God. I wasn't looking for this. Okay. The $30 challenge has been matched, and he says, I would like to make a challenge. And Good Chris, you remember what he did the other day, right?
$75.
Well, he didn't quite do that tonight, but he did way more. I wasn't expecting anything out of Good Chris for another 30 days or so. Good Chris matches the $30 challenge and issues his own a $50 challenge. So that's not bad out of
so is that
Mr.
50
Palmer.
Total or 80 from him?
50 total.
Okay.
Yeah, he did 75 the other night, and he just sent 50, so he matched the 30 and says, I challenge the room to match my 50. And if we could do that, between Palmer's money and Good Chris, that's not bad.
No.
That's why I can't read. Those aren't readers.
Thank you, Good Chris.
You're gonna say, why is that so fucking blurry? And because those
I'm
are
sure
not
Bad Chris will just jump right on and
well, Good Chris challenged Bad Chris to do half of his donation the other day. Now this is doable tonight. If Bad Chris, who I'm sure is working tonight, if Bad Chris could do half of this, that would be something in the right direction. maybe Timmy Lee, because Timmy
Or
mainly. Maybe
Timothy.
Timmy's there to help me for my birthday. But
Timothy
Timmy does
from
5 or
Emily.
10 here and there.
Yeah,
Timmy does 5. Timmy, you good for anything for us tonight to help? Because here's what we got going on. We got some birthdays coming up. We got little Art Gel's birthday is December the 3rd. And she didn't ask for cake and ice cream. She asked for spaghetti and chicken and maybe some cupcakes. So it would probably take $20 or $25, and that would feed her and a few of her friends and her family. Spaghetti and chicken is what she wants. So we're looking at, I think if we sent them 1,200 pesos, that's about $22, $23. If we sent them $23, that would get them chicken and ice. Oh, you had a fan. You had a big fan over there. So between your chip bag and your is that a heater or a fan? What do you got going on over there?
A fan. I was just taking a drink in my cup.
Well, something went away over there. There was a lot of background. Maybe it's picking up sound from your computer or something, maybe.
Maybe. I wasn't hearing.
Yeah, I'm hearing it now. It went away for a minute, and I didn't notice it until it went away. Ah, well. I don't think it's going to matter.
I'm going to turn
off. That was nice. It was very nice of good Chris to do that. But he says, "Can we match my 50?" So that would be nice. And then Robert Palmer did 30. So that we will get that now, because he said if we can get 50 in here, he will send 30 in here. He'll send 30. So we've done that. So if we could match that of the 50, that would be nice. And we got Eunice's birthday is coming up on the 29th. Be the 28th here. Be 29th there. So we got Eunice's birthday, and normally I don't like to do the older people's birthday, but this is her 18th. Kind of a big deal, and we have been helping them with medication for her mother. I did send her mother the money to get her credentials, and they call it something else. I forget how they phrase it, Bob, but she needs her basically credentials to get this job, certain IDs and verifications and shit like that, and it cost about $30 to get it.
Bribes.
But if she gets the job, it's 15,000 pesos every 2 weeks. Now, how much they tax that, I don't know, but it's a lot more money than most Filipinos are making, and they become self-sufficient if she gets that job. We won't really need to do anything for them anymore. They can handle their rice. They can handle their house is paid for because we paid for it. Their electric, their water. They don't have to rely on the guy who's trying to set up a $1,600 GoFundMe account right now, even though we both have the same medical coverage. Says he needs help with his medical bills. I might need help sometime, but I don't need any help with my medical bills. Those are covered. My transportation, if I need it, I got passport insurance. They'll come and pick me up. Got to call them a little bit in advance, but they'll come pick me up. So now I know y'all fucking terrified to comment in here because we might ask you to make a donation. But Paul RJ did speak. Timmy Lee's got his badge. Timmy, it's a simple question. We're just checking to see if he can be able to help with us tonight. But so far, those are the only 2 donations. And let's see here. Vanessa's in the house. Oh, Vanessa was... Vanessa's... Listen to this shit. And I told her I would do everything we could to raise the money on here to do it. You know how great the neighbors are in the Philippines, Bob, right?
Yes, it's like love your neighbor as your enemy.
And then fuck them if you get the chance. So her neighbor has a decent internet that runs 2,000 pesos a month. This is Vanessa's neighbor. So Vanessa, for the past few months, to save money rather than ordering her own internet and paying installation, it was going to run about $60 to get a decent internet in her home. She elected to pay about $20 to share her neighbor's internet. And they've been doing that for a few months. Vanessa's internet quit working for like 7 days. And it turns out it wasn't weather related. It was because her neighbor didn't pay their bill. Even though Vanessa had paid her half, she had to pay the 1,000 pesos to get it. And so all they had to do was pay their half. So not only would they not refund Vanessa the 7 days she didn't have internet, because Vanessa had to buy daily Wi-Fi internet for the 7 days she was out, because that's the only way she can do her printing business and apply for other jobs. Not only would they not refund her for it, they want to now charge her 1,500 pesos a month, leaving them about
the 2,000
because we ran the wire over here to hook you up. So because we did that, we now, which they volunteered to do because they wanted to get the 1,000 pesos a month. But now that they got her hooked up, they want Vanessa to pay 1,500 a month while they pay 500. And oh, by the way, we might not pay it for 7 days, and we're not going to reimburse you for the days you're out of the internet. So I told her, I said, well, let's fuck them. And because it will cost, they got a deal right now to where if you order the 1,300 peso per month internet, which is 50 megabytes, I think it's 1,300 per month. It is 50 megabytes, and installation is free if you pay for a month of internet service in advance.
Yeah,
so it's not
cheaper than the neighbors want.
So it's not $60; it's roughly $30. Now, if you want 100 megabytes, and I told her I couldn't guarantee this, but we would look into it. If she wants 100 megabytes, it's 1,900 pesos a month. So it's a little bit more, but double the speeds. Might let her get a little bit more done, work a little better. So I told her that me and you would talk about it, see how we could do on the show. We did help Chris the other day. Female Chris is there, and we got good Chris. It is 10:05. It is 10:05. And but yeah, shout out and good Chris, if you're around and you want to say hey or anything, certainly feel free to say hey. We gotta. I don't care if 10 people show up in here Tuesday, and that might be more than we got 17 tonight. And I didn't know how big the crowd would be because people go out on Saturday nights. I don't know if there's any wrestling tonight or not. I get there's probably a wrestling show on somewhere.
Well, AEW's always got their Saturday night show.
Yeah,
who watches AEW?
I never see them. And I have to admit, the Auburn game had my interest. The Oklahoma game, never dreamed Oklahoma was just going to spank them like that. But Alabama's got some coming back to do if they're going to change that shit. And what was the Auburn? Not Auburn, but I was interested in the Vanderbilt LSU game. And that was a 7-point game last I looked. And I was really, I think McAfee was the only one to pick Vanderbilt on game day. Everyone else picked LSU because they thought it was a must win for them. But I would certainly love to see Vanderbilt pull that off. But they were down 7 last I looked. And once again, whatever background noise I was hearing over there just went away again. You have no idea what that is?
Mm-mm.
No fan, no heater, no nothing?
No, I turned the fan off, but I turned that off a few minutes ago.
Yeah. And now it's kind of easing back in. I don't know what that is. I have no idea.
If it's picked up my computer fan, but my microphone, let me do this.
Yeah, it sounds like your microphone's a ways, unless you got 2 microphones over there.
No, just the one. Let me turn the gain down a little bit on it and bring it closer. See if that.
Like I said, it wasn't anything horrible. I didn't even notice it until I noticed it went away. That's when I noticed it. So, doing good, Chris. Hopefully, the money we sent you for food was a help for you. We appreciate. Oh, there's another big game out there today, and I think I might be the only one who didn't pick them. Didn't both of y'all pick Arizona State over BYU?
Yes, we did.
Well, I didn't because I had faith in those Mormons. Good thing I stuck with my Catholics. You better turn your gain back up because your volume went way down. So I guess we'll have to take the gain, I guess.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
All right.
Not much to gain.
Yeah. So how about them Sunny
Devils?
Devils?
The line to gain we did not make.
I didn't have faith in the Sunny Devils. I didn't have faith in them. I thought those Mormons would go in there and just do a religious attack and dominate.
They bad week for me. A mediocre week for Kenny and a pretty good week for the Coltrane.
Does the train you hit any? You never hit no parlay.
No, you know what?
Somebody fucked you out of a parlay. There was a fumble on the 3 that cost you a parlay.
No, Georgia couldn't cover the 42, and that was the only one that fucked up.
It's one every week. It's one fucking thing. It's like there's a thing going on.
It's got to be. They're like, oh, Coltrane just put a bet in. Let's get his hopes up and that was going to be a $10,000 payoff.
And they're like, attention, Georgia, attention, Georgia. You cannot score here. Take a knee at the start of the 4th quarter. Take a knee.
Yep.
From then on,
$4 bet for $10,000.
Oh, geez. And that Georgia game was what cost you $10,000
right here. Yep.
Oh my God. I'd light somebody's helmet on fire over $10,000.
Oh yeah, I might
That's
have to
why
go to a game
I don't
show.
bet at all. But if I was going to bet, the parlay thing just to me is there's too many chances for
Pesci's a
something to
big
go
parlay
wrong.
guy. Pesci's a big parlay guy.
Yeah, and
Throw
I
a
lose
parlay
like $20 a month or every 2 weeks, really.
Well, see, I asked
Yeah, I mean, it's
Timmy Lee.
not a
I
big-
asked Timmy
I
Lee
s-
for money, and he quit
I
speaking.
waste more than on lottery tickets, probably. So
Yeah, that's the way I feel.
I've never bought a lottery ticket in my life.
I have a little
hard
bit
to
more
win.
control doing this than lottery, but
Vanessa,
it's all rigged anyway.
exactly.
Vanessa buys lottery ticket about every week. She drops 50 pesos on a lottery ticket about every week, I think. Well, so far we just have the 2 donations. We got the 50 from Good Chris, who made his challenge, and Robert Palmer from the UK. I asked Timmy Lee for some money, and he quit speaking to me. So, and whatever that noise was I was hearing out of Bob's is gone again. Now, Train, if you hear it, because I'll let you know if I start hearing the little. It sounds like a fan, like a computer fan, is what it sounds like.
Oh, no, I'm not hearing it.
I just activated mine. I don't hear it now either. But sometimes it comes in and sometimes it goes away, and I got no. And like I said, it wasn't hurting anything.
You don't have headphones
Everybody's
either.
copying Trump these days. We're not going to have any mic blowing on this show, but we leave that to him. He does the mic.
Notice how he knew exactly what to do.
He did know what to do. I'll tell you why he knew. I hope nobody takes offense to this, but I have been watching the movie The Apprentice on Kodi, and I'm about halfway through it. And
that's out?
It's on Kodi. It's on Kodi. 4K version
Pirate
though.
TV.
So there's a digital copy somewhere. I got the 4K version of it. I don't like watching the cams. Very rarely. I watched the cam of Deadpool because it was a good one. Of Deadpool Wolverine. It was so good because my son won't watch them either, but we both watched that one because it was real good. So I'm watching the 4K version of The Apprentice. The cam came out. I watched about 30 seconds of it. Didn't want to see it. So now that the 4K version's out, I watched some of it like a day or two ago, and I'm about halfway through it. And I was blown away today that my son did not know who Roy Cohn is. I would say both of you all know who that is, right?
I know the name, yeah.
Yeah,
You know the name. Okay. Do you know what he does? Why he's famous?
Wasn't he a fixer?
Well, I guess to a degree.
He was
And
a
it was during
lawyer,
the
but
Bush
Trump's
era,
fixer,
wasn't it?
right?
He was a very, very crooked fucking lawyer that everybody in New York hated.
Okay.
And he was the lawyer apparently for Fred Trump, Donald Trump, and was just everybody hated him. The court systems hated him. Just anybody. And he had been indicted several times himself. And when you watch this movie, you learn that Roy Cohn has a lot to do with why Trump is such a horrible person, because he taught Trump all the never tell the truth, never admit defeat. If you lose, say you won, a womanizer from hell. And apparently Roy Cohn, I'm assuming, was gay. And here's where I'm going to come up with it. Not that that's good or bad. You make your choices, do what you want to do. But apparently Roy Cohn was having a big party at his house, and Roy was always, a very womanizing person, very, very just abusive to women. But Trump goes up and opens a door to some room upstairs at this party he's at. He walks in, and Roy Cohn and about 8 other guys are just going at it. Just it's an 8-man tag, one that you will not see on Netflix. And Trump peeks in and looks, and Trump stands there looking for a while, like, yeah. And then he finally closes the door and leaves. But not long after that is when Trump started being accused of what was settled out of court with 12 children, some girls, some boys. And it was sometime after that.
Oh, I didn't know about the boy.
Well, according to the name list, unless there's 3 or 4 of them on there that had little boy names, it did not say male or female. You just read the names and you assumed that 2 or 3 of them were boys and several of them were girls. And Maya was
like Casey or something like that. That's interchangeable.
No, it wasn't one of those interchangeable names.
Yeah.
I think Bob was one of them. Not a lot of
Yeah.
girls like Bobby Sue, maybe.
Leroy.
Yeah, but I noticed that out of the 12 kids, like 3 of them were boys that settled out of court, and they were supposed to be sealed. Nobody's ever supposed to see them. Because even my brother said the other day, he says, well, why do they enter into these plea deals? Because he's all upset that Hegseth has been caught. Because Hegseth apparently raped this girl. And if you listen to the police report and you read what's in the police report, the woman went to this women's conference. This was a long way from college football, I know. She goes to like a women's conference, and Hegseth is there for whatever fucking reason. And she's there with her husband and her 2 kids. They're in one hotel room. She's in another. Hegseth is apparently hitting on her at this women's conference where they're all gathering for drinks and everything. Another woman is the crotch blocker, as they've been saying on the news channels. She's trying to make sure Hegseth isn't trying to have his way with this married woman and a few other women that Hegseth had been hitting on. She says she's at the bar, they're talking, they're getting along and everything, and Hegseth is wanting her to come to his room. She's letting him know that can't happen, not going to do that. They're having drinks. She says, next thing I know, I'm just feeling dizzy as, hell. She ends up going to the room with him. When she realizes where she's at, what she's done, she tries to get out of the room. She says he blocks her from leaving the room. This is what's in a 22-page police report. You don't make 22-page police reports on he grabbed my ass and pinched my cheek. This is a lot of fucking details. And she said he blocked her from leaving the room. She says, I think he drugged me, because the next thing I know, I'm passed out. When I wake up, he's on top of me. He has hurt my thigh. And just to tell you exactly the way it says in the police report, and this is how they read it on MSNBC, he ejaculated on my stomach and said, "Are you okay?" So she said when her thigh was hurting real bad, she knew she'd been raped, obviously, what had happened. So she goes to the emergency room to have a rape test done on her, and then files the police report. And there are several of her friends said she called them and told them about it. So in the days and era of the Me Too movement, if a woman goes into that much detail, I have a tendency to believe the woman. And especially when you hear the history of Hegseth and just what a womanizing shitbag he is, and with Trump's grab him by the pussy, you hear enough stories, and then if you just look at the history, the shit adds up. So, and he kept claiming he was cleared by the police. For whatever reason, they did not file charges. And he settled out of court with her. He paid her off because she did not want her reporting that story, because he thought it would jeopardize his job at Fox Entertainment. Well, with the history of womanizing that goes on over there from the top on down, he might have got a promotion out of it. So that's his whole goddamn story. And, but yeah, Hegseth has got all the heat on him right now. Now that Matthew Gates has decided that, and you want to talk about fair and balanced. I'm watching MSNBC and CNN and BBC and all these other news channels covering when Gates said, "Nah, mama, nah, I ain't running." And he claimed it was, I don't want to be a detriment to the campaign. I don't want all this attention. This is all bullshit. They're all claiming all these horrible things I did. So they got about 15 to 22 minutes of coverage on all the major news channels. All the networks that have 1 hour news shows are given 15 to 22 minutes coverage. Do you want to guess? Because it was the lead story on Fox Entertainment. Do you want to guess how much time they gave the Matt Gaetz stepping down story?
3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Oh no! That would have been an amazing. That would have been deep dive details if they'd done that.
Oh really? Listen,
55 seconds is how much time they gave. Then that was on the show The Five. That's where they got 5 of them to give their opinions, and they didn't have any Democrats on this show. They normally have 1. This show was 5 Republicans. They gave 55 seconds of coverage of that. Do you know what got 12 minutes of coverage? The next story? The guy from Empire who had his case overturned, where they said
Juicy.
the guy Smollett. Jesse Smollett, the guy from so the second story, they gave 12 minutes.
Juicy.
12 minutes went to him because he had his case overturned, because he was the one that said that Republicans jumped him and MAGA supporters and beat him up and all this shit. And then apparently there was a check. And I have to admit, the story that Jesse was giving sounded pretty shady. But somehow a judge overturned that ruling. I don't know why. And I have to admit, it sounds questionable to me. From the original story I heard, Jesse sounded guilty to me from what I'd heard. And that's me saying that. That's me saying.
Well, even the assailants were saying, yeah, he paid us for that shit.
Well, that's what they were saying, but it doesn't necessarily make it true either.
Right.
But when there is a check, and they've got a check he gave them for $3,000 or whatever it was,
Trues it up a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks a little shady. So 12 minutes goes to that, 55 seconds to Matt Gates stepping down. Never once did they mention a second underage girl has now come forward and said that he paid her for sex. And then they look at the Venmo transactions, and there's $10,000 worth of transactions amongst 12 girls.
For being my friend.
Yeah, just be my buddy. Just be my buddy. Back to college football.
The Amazon.
Back to the college football. The playoff, the Tuesday show should be fun because those playoffs, ain't gonna be some shaking up. If this Alabama shit holds up, they're out. Texas A&M is in a bit of a scare right now. They're trying to get in, ranked 15th, and there's room for them to get in if they can come back and win this thing. There's room for them to get
Arizona got popped out of bowl contention.
Oh, they're not even getting a bowl, huh?
Not even getting the bowl.
The Hurricanes. It was
just a gunshot outside my house.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, that was.
That's what that was.
Well,
stepping away.
Well, who's your dad mad at? Who's out there? Who's he popping a cap in?
No idea.
All right.
Oh, Yosemite Sam.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you what, though. I'm going to question Bob's sanity for a minute.
I thought a ladder fell or
at my house. I'm closing windows and doors and going into my safe room. I ain't about to go outside. Who out here shooting around? Whose ass I got to whip? Bring your fucking gun up on my porch. I'm going to put an end to this shit. No, that is no. I got a safe room in his house, and that's where I'm going. Hello, Mylene. How you doing? Why do girls over 18 call me daddy? That's what I'm starting to start asking.
Come on, Mylene. Oh, I know.
No, boy. Well, it looks like it's a good thing we got the two nice donations because we haven't gotten any others. So much for the $50 challenge and the $30 challenge because ain't nobody else doing jack shit.
Maybe we should appeal to everybody's egos and have a
maybe
$5.
Good Chris wanted maybe Good Chris's parlay came in today.
Maybe we should auction off like times on the show because people want to be famous, let them babble their idiocy, and but we got the money.
You know what? I'm trying to post Paul RJ's. Oh, there it is. I don't know if anyone's working everybody, it's Tony Storm.
Yeah, unless he's hurt.
The whole character is a work anyway. I mean,
it's so bizarre, but I like it.
That's what the whole thing she does is
like bizarre,
it was so over the top. I didn't like my son likes what she's doing.
It kind of reminds me of like 40s noir type.
Yeah, anytime you got black and white footage. Well, apparently Bob didn't get shot, so that's a step in the right direction.
Or he has all his toes, hopefully.
Yeah. So no, Paul, I have no idea. Maybe Bob has some insight on that.
I might get that possum.
Bob, I was saying to you, I said, now I'm gonna have to question Bob's intelligence because when I hear there's a gunshot outside, I got a safe room I go to, no windows, I can lock the doors, me and the dogs go in. And who gives a shit? Timmy John. No wonder you look like my brother. My brother, my ignorant ass racist brother, was bragging that the sheriff that shot Breonna Taylor here in Louisville now has a job in Carroll County. Well, I said, the one thing we don't have to worry about is him shooting any black people in Carroll County. We don't have to worry about that.
There's not any there allowed, huh?
Yeah. Next time you see him at the Klan meeting, say hello.
Yeah, so he works out there, and then I was talking to him about coming down here and going to dinner with us. And I said, let me tell you something. I said, you come in here talking that racist shit. I said, ain't none of these people down here going to put up with that shit. Oh, man, if I come down there, I'm bringing... I hope you're watching Timmy John, you racist shit fuck.
I want to know what he's bringing.
If I come down there, man, I'm bringing my gun, going to be in my waistband. I said, well, number one, you ride around with your little handicap cart. Your little shit house on wheels. He's got that walker. And then under his seat, he packs a gun. In fucking Carroll County. Now,
Every time you reach for that fucker, you're going to get your ass whooped.
You got to let me finish here. I live in Louisville, Kentucky, a city of 1.3 million people. There is crime in Louisville. Not so much over here where I live, but there's crime in Louisville. I go all over Louisville from time to time. Sometimes crime comes here looking for us every now and then. It's rare, but it happens. I don't have a gun, no desire to have a gun. And like I've pointed out on this show many times, even if somebody's wanting to come here and pop a cap in my ass, unless I'm sitting in that recliner with the gun loaded and ready to go, which there was a case down here in Louisville, someone had one loaded and ready to go, and they don't have a 3-year-old kid anymore because of it. Because the kid found the gun and shot itself in the head out in fucking somewhere near Chris Schmidt's neck of the woods. And the guy was a convicted felon, wasn't supposed to have a gun to begin with. He hid the gun under the couch because he was sleeping, but he didn't wake up. The kid found the gun, 3 years old, and shot itself in the head. So if you're safe, your gun is not loaded and your gun is locked up, especially if you have children or other people enter your home and you don't want them getting access to your gun. So for it to be safe, locked up, unloaded, someone comes here to shoot me. By the time I get the fucking gun and load it, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. I mean, if that's their intentions, is to come here and shoot me, that gun ain't going to do me a fucking bit of good. Or I can have it loaded and ready to go. But if they're coming here to shoot me, even if it's loaded and laying around here somewhere ready to go, unless I'm sitting here with a fucking gun in my hand by the chair and I hear the doorknob turn, and maybe I shoot grandma. Maybe just grandma was trying to let herself in. I don't know. But I have never seen the purpose. And believe me, I come from a family of fucking gun nut gun owners. My stepdad must have had 30 fucking guns. How many of them were legal, I have no idea. But everybody in the Rising family had a fucking gun. And it certainly made up for their dicks. Because they all, and my brother's the same way. Well, I go into Popeyes, I'm going to have my gun. I said, well, here's the difference. If you bring that fucking gun down here, you stupid white fucks out where you live apparently can't shoot shit but a goddamn beer bottle sitting on a fence post. These fuckers down here know how to use their guns. So go in Popeyes and talk your shit. Have your gun in your waistband, and I'm anxious to see the odds that you get out. I don't do that shit. I don't talk no fucking shit on nobody. And if they want to shoot an unarmed man, then that's the fucking risk that we take. But his gun ain't going to save him from fucking anybody. And Bob, you did not walk out in your yard with a fucking 6-shooter, Yosemite salmon on everybody.
No.
You didn't do that.
Took the shotgun.
You took the shotgun outside.
Yeah. And right at that, well, there was this guy that was trying to put up a Trump flag.
Well, there you go.
And what happened was, it wasn't a gunshot. It was,
Your Honor.
No, listen. It was not a gunshot. He was putting up the Trump flag, and the pole fell and smacked him in the head. Because his head was so hard, it sounded just like a gunshot.
That adds up. All right.
So I took the shotgun and shot him.
I've tried to
just
speak
because he's
to
putting
all
up
of
a Trump flag.
I've tried to speak to Bob. You know anything about the Tony Storm thing? Was this part of her?
It's a work. It's a work.
But I assumed it was, because the minute I see Tony Storm, I'm like, well, bullshit.
I haven't followed it in months, so I don't even know why she would be.
The only reason I know it's a work was because someone in the Ben Hameen group said, Tony Storm retired, it's a work. I go, oh, okay.
Oh, well, cool.
How do you see Ben? I don't even see Ben Hameen's post. How do you see that?
No, it's not his post. It's a little group that's like a Ben Hameen's.
Is it a Twitter thing?
No, it's a Facebook.
A Facebook thing. Oh, I every once in a great while, I'll see something out of him on Facebook. Every once in a great while, I'll see something out of that group on Twitter. Supposedly people have been leaving Twitter under record numbers. Like I said, there's not 7 to 10 people I communicate with over there. Instead of hooking up the flag, he hooked up his underpants. Well, that's happened in cartoons before. It has happened. Like I said, it don't look like there's any other donations coming in. The challenges have been issued. Nah. So let's do the NFL picks and we'll get out of here.
Do it.
All right.
The Ghost, the Ghost does love the Orange Man. No, well, they know where I stand, and I'll have the conversation with them anytime they want to have it. But guess what? Russo and Ben Hameen and various others. I guess Stevie Richards and various others. Because as you know, I'll have them on my show all the time. Sure. And I'll have the conversation with him. And just because he won doesn't make him a good guy. Just because he won doesn't make all the rape charges and sexual assault allegations go away. Doesn't make the federal crimes. I guess he can make them go away. Yeah. And there's some things been put on hold now for another 4 years. And then there's still 12 women waiting to take him to court once he's not president no more. He's still a horrible fucking person, you know. And if morally that's who you stand by, I have trouble standing by you.
Stevie Richards is a Trumper.
Well, he's over there with them, so I don't know.
Oh, I think that's
he seems to be a welcome part of the. They sure as fuck don't want me over there. That's for damn sure.
Now, Ben Hameen is shoot name, or is that just a working name?
No, I forgot his real name, but no, that's his.
Ben Hammond. Benjamin Hammond.
Benjamin Hammond.
No, I know his real name, but I know his real name, but that ain't it. And fuck, his real name might be on Facebook somewhere. I had to post my real name. Yeah, I had to post my real name on Facebook after a period of time, so I don't know. But all right. Yeah, so let's do the NFL picks.
Minnesota at Chicago. Minnesota's a 3.5-point favorite.
Minnesota.
I will take Chicago.
I'll take Minnesota.
I'll take Minnesota.
Because underdogs win 61% of the time.
61% of the time, according to Pat McAfee. 61%.
So I'm taking the underdogs.
But that's only half the time, and that half the time is when the third quarter is by half. Yeah. And so therefore,
41% of the time.
And apologies. I knew we wouldn't see him in here tonight. John Paul, who's been mad at me before because of things I've said. But we got over it. Everything's fine. But John Paul, I knew he wasn't going to be in here tonight, John Paul, because my boys invited your boys to my town and we beat you like redheaded stepchildren. We ran you out of Freedom Hall. We don't play our football games in Freedom Hall, by the way.
I'll say, since when is it?
Might be kind of interesting if they did.
We ran you up and down the 92-foot court, but no, John Paul, you got your ass handed to you today. Y'all got 9 points. We got 37. That means we got a lot fucking more than you got. I wish I'd have known that game was on the schedule. Bob Hazelwood was asleep at the wheel because he should have had that game for us to pick. Bobby Bangs Hazelwood.
I should have, but I was too busy waiting for the
Hollywood Hazelwood. But no, I knew we wouldn't see John Paul in here tonight because he doesn't want to come in here and congratulate me for what we did to you. Probably going to launch us right back. You know what? Louisville is pretty good because the only games we've lost are to Miami by 7. And we lost that because we fumbled the fucking ball in the end zone and Miami recovered it. There's your 7 points. And SMU by 7. SMU's pretty fucking good. Virginia, I think, beat us. And SMU handed Virginia their ass today. SMU's pretty good. And then there's a third team that's pretty good that we lost by 6. Yeah, Notre Dame. I think we lost by 6 to Notre Dame. So there's 3 teams that are, and then Clemson, we go there.
We almost won.
What's that?
That's 3 teams that
we're almost undefeated.
Yeah, so they played 3 real good teams, a couple of them playoff teams, maybe a third one. SMU is on track to go to the playoffs. If they beat Miami in that conference championship game, they'll be in the playoffs, maybe even without that. Clemson gets into the playoffs if Miami loses to Syracuse, and Notre Dame is obviously going to be in the playoffs. And that's a pretty good resume right there for your 3 losses to be by a grand total of 20 points.
Yeah. And, so right now the top 12 teams. Let's just hit this real quick in college. Top 12 teams. Oregon was off this week. Ohio State won big. Texas won.
What was it big? What was the final?
It was more than 10.5 points.
Well, I know it was, but it was against a lousy ass Kentucky.
Texas? No. Ohio State played Indiana.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was talking about the Texas game.
Yeah, Texas won by 17 points.
I thought
wouldn't have covered the 20. I'd have lost.
They did not cover the 20. So.
Ohio State. Well, Indiana had 2 huge mistakes. They gave up a punt return.
Yeah. So Oregon was off. Ohio State by 23 over Indiana. Texas by 17
and Indiana gave
Kentucky.
14 of those away. That game should
Penn
have been
State
much closer.
Squeaks by Minnesota.
Penn State should not have won that game.
I thought Minnesota won that game.
No,
Penn State by 1 point.
No, Penn State. Penn State. If they don't drop in the rankings, then it's all a work.
Notre Dame destroys the Army, 49-14.
We knew they would.
Miami destroys Wake Forest.
But here's the thing about that game. That was a
close game until the fourth quarter.
That was a 6-point game until about 9 minutes to go in the fourth. And this is about the fifth time Miami's done it this year. It's a ball game with about 8 or 9 minutes to go. It's a 6-point game. I'm telling you.
Then they just poured it on.
Chris,
yeah.
Oh, I wrote Bob and said, man, I said, if we can't fucking outscore fucking Wake Forest, a 4-6 team, we don't even deserve to be in the goddamn playoffs. Next thing you know, Miami wins at 42-13 or 42-17 or whatever it is. So Miami just pours it on in the fourth. And we came up 5 points short against, I think, Virginia or whoever the fuck beat us or whoever it was. So
Ole Miss gets upset by Florida. They're out of the playoffs, I'm sure. Georgia, 38 points.
Oh my
they
God!
Didn't cover their fucking thing.
Bad Chris. He wouldn't do the 25. Bad Chris. Apparently times are tough in Bullitt County. Apparently Tornado hit there and did about $1 million worth of improvements again. Bad Chris with a $5 donation.
Tornado. Bad Chris. Sharknado.
Oh, by the way, StreamYard just charged me $27.
Good for them. Let's see. So Boise State just squeezes by Wyoming.
Told you they were tough at home.
Yeah. And then SMU with a big kick on Boise State, 17-13.
Well, I told you Boise would beat them. So.
Yeah, they did beat them by not the thing. SMU big over Virginia. Arizona State upset BYU. Two of us called that game. One of us did not.
One of us chose the other.
Kansas upsets Colorado, and we all talked about how strong Kansas was with their
none of us
multiple games with one score losses, and none of us picked them.
Oh, they got like 5 or 6 games that have been 1 score losses, kind of like what Louisville did with some of theirs.
Colorado almost came back on them though.
No, they didn't.
No,
they got beat soundly.
And about the third quarter though.
As a matter of fact, I hear the coaches told the Neon Dion to just hang out in Boulder for a while. Just stay up there.
Just hang out.
Turn the neon off. Missouri big over Mississippi State. Illinois big over Rutgers.
I did call that Missouri game, by the way.
Yeah, UNLV over San Jose State. The only ongoing games right at the moment, fourth quarter, Oklahoma and Alabama.
Well, no, don't give me any.
I'm not giving scores. I'm not giving scores. Fourth quarter, Auburn and Texas A&M.
Right.
Almost over in the fourth quarter, Utah and Iowa State. But that one might turn out to be a good finish. So some good games right there.
Oh, we know what's
all right. NFL picks though. Let's get back to those. Detroit is a 7-point favorite at Indianapolis.
That's right. We haven't done any picks yet, have we?
I'm taking Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
Oh yeah, Detroit hands down.
Even though they're not an underdog.
So they're beat. That's the kiss of death.
Yeah, that's the kiss of death. We all three pick them. New England goes to Miami. Miami is a 7.5-point favorite. I want to take Miami, but I'm going to take New England just because that extra half point.
Well, I'm taking New England because every week that I've picked the opponent the last few weeks, Miami's won. So
okay,
I'm just going to go with Miami. I think they can do it this time.
Yeah, thank you for saving us from us.
Oh, and by the way, to prove that Kirk Herbstreit listens to this show, he called it my reverse psychology pick on a game he picked today on game day. And he was the only one to pick it. He said, "Yeah, that was my reverse psychology pick."
Sounds like
I'm the only person who has ever said that on picking games. So I know he got it from me.
History of the world.
And who else would have said it? Name me the guy that would have said it other than me.
Lee Corso.
Like X-Pac Heat. I came up with that. No one else said it. Who?
I said Lee Corso, probably.
Lee might have said it. His reverse.
Tampa Bay goes to the New York Football Giants, where they are a 6-point favorite. Tampa is.
I'll take Tampa.
I got Tampa.
I'm going to take New York just because of the 61% minus the 38% of a 6-point underdog.
Makes as much sense as anything else we're doing.
Yeah, it's just a wild ass guess. Dallas goes to Washington. Washington's 10.5-point favorite. Dallas loses but covers.
I think they get throttled by at least 10.
Yeah, I got Washington. I got Washington not only winning but covering.
Well, they're not at home, so they don't have to trail by 20.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Kansas City goes to Carolina. Carolina is a 10.5-point underdog.
Kansas City beats the snot out of them.
I think Kansas City puts up, especially after losing last week, they're going to put up 50 on Carolina.
Yeah. Take out some aggression.
So what game we picking? I got lost in my train of thought.
Kansas City at Carolina. Kansas City's 10.5
The
points.
train go off the tracks a little bit.
I would think Kansas City should be able to handle that.
The weavy tracks.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Tennessee at Houston. Houston is a 7.5-point favorite. Houston's a team that can be really good or not so good. It's just,
I think with Tennessee they cover.
I got Houston. I got Houston winning.
well, one of us is going to have a great record and the others are not. So I'm taking Tennessee. Denver goes to Las Vegas. Denver is a 6-point favorite. Is Las Vegas really that bad? The answer is yes.
Denver.
No, who's going to Las Vegas? Denver?
Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I got Denver.
All right. San Francisco goes to Green Bay. Green Bay is a 3-point favorite. I think San Francisco wins this outright.
Yeah, me too.
Unless it's snowing.
Who's quarterbacking for Green Bay now? Do they still have their starter?
Yes.
Quarterback number one
Jordan
if
Love,
be on the
right?
video games.
You know what? I'm going to take Green Bay.
Okay.
Just a break from the pack.
Just to pack from the pack. Ha ha ha.
That was a mercy laugh.
Arizona goes to Seattle. Arizona is a 1-point favorite.
I think Arizona pulls it out.
Arizona with Seattle.
By the hairs of their ass, but they pulled it out.
And it's at Seattle?
It's at Seattle.
Arizona has played decent ball, and every time I pick Seattle, they seemingly burn me. I'm gonna take Arizona as well.
I will take Seattle. The Sunday night game, the Philadelphia Football Eagles go into Los Angeles to play the Los Angeles Rams. Philadelphia is a 3-point favorite. I think they destroy the Rams.
The Rams never cover when I pick them, so I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams.
And the Monday night game is the Baltimore Football Ravens go into Los Angeles to play.
You mean the Louisville Lamar Jacksons? Let's call that team by their proper names.
Yeah.
Our audience.
And they go to the Los Angeles Chargers. So back-to-back home games in SoFi.
There you
go. Or back-to-back away games in SoFi, I should say.
I knew what you meant.
Baltimore's a 3-point favorite.
Oh, yeah, they cover that easy.
Well, we've said that before, so I would hope they do.
But
I'm going to pick LA to cover because Chargers are one of those teams that
They can play some ball, but no, I got the Louisville Lamars waking up this week and getting their shit together.
That's the picks. That's
and
the
it was not that snow game a lot of fun to watch with.
It was fun, although I didn't like the fact that we all missed the pick. But
Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Well, I did because that helped us. That helped the Louisville Lamar Jacksons.
It was a fun game.
Yeah, we needed Cleveland to win, and it's like a lot of these college games today. I missed them, but I was very happy at the results.
One of the things that they did that I thought Amazon did was really cool was they superimposed the field on the snow, so you could see where the yard lines were.
Are you thinking that's the first time that's ever been done?
First time I've seen it.
I've
seen them superimpose like the yellow lines and things, but they were the full field.
NBC actually did that a couple of years ago, 1 or 2 years ago. Had a big snow game, and NBC had that fucking technology and superimposed that, and it looked good. So it's the second time I've seen it, but I think it's an NBC thing. I think they came up with it first.
All right. Well, yeah, it was a good look, I thought.
Yeah, that's the second time I've seen it done. I heard some people saying they didn't like it because the players' legs were disappearing. I want to know what fucking yard line they're on.
Yeah.
Without the shovel team going out there, but But then again, I have seen games where you have no idea where they are in the field.
Yeah.
So, and there's kind of a coolness to that too. But I like the superimposed shit. But I think I even heard them give NBC credit for that technology during the Amazon Prime game. I thought I heard them give NBC credit for creating that technology. But yeah, I'll say it was either 1 year ago or 2 years ago they did it, and it was pretty cool because I was wondering, well, how the fuck did they do that? Because I thought they went out there and took a blow dryer or something and dried all that out.
It is the same basic thing as the yellow line for the
but more or less, yeah.
First
But
down
yeah, it's a
marker,
great technology, and you don't get to use it very often, but it's a good thing to have when you got it, I guess. But
there is something special about a football.
and
game.
I think those are the only two. And your boys $5. Now I'm hoping y'all can help me out here a little bit because with the $27 hitting StreamYard, that basically takes away 30 of what we made tonight. Is it any problem if I can get you all to go $9 each with me on this?
What was the question?
I'm sorry.
Did the goddamn screen freeze?
Yeah, the screen froze.
Is it any problem that because if y'all go 9 apiece with me on it, it ain't that bad. Otherwise, that takes away a good chunk of what we made tonight.
I thought they promised they were going to go.
No, it was going to be 47.
Oh, I see.
And then they're giving us 6 months of this rate. So we just stayed here because where Bob was going to take us was going to be about the same. So this way it gave us 6 months to do. No, they were going to raise us to like 47 or 48. And then they came back and gave us this 6-month offer.
Yeah, I'll get you on Wednesday.
We can take care of you. It'll be all right. We'll get it done.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Well, Wednesday's fine. Or you can pay me for a hamburger today, wimpy.
You got to look at tomorrow's parlays and see how that comes out.
Yeah, see. Actually, I think I'm all parlayed out this weekend.
10,000. So really, you would have won 10 grand?
I would have won 10 grand. Yeah.
Motherfucker. Yeah, that's not a good feeling. So
but
otherwise you get nothing.
When and normally, like if it's a $200 payout, like they would at least offer me.
Yeah,
like
I've never
50.
heard you talk about one. I've heard you talk about 200, 300, 400.
Yeah.
Never heard you mention a $10,000 parlay.
Is it FanDuel or DraftKings that gives you the chance to like end your parlay early, right? If
Caesars lets you, but they have to have the offer up there. You can't just do it at any time. And then sometimes you'll be cashing out, and then the odds will change on you all of a sudden, and then they'll kick you out, and then somebody will score. Yeah, they got ways of fucking you over.
Yeah, it's like, oh, by the way, I know you said it was 4.5 at the spread, but now it's 5.5.
Yeah. Yep.
What?
Paul RJ's apologizing for not having a donation the past week or two because he said he had to have an X-ray and an ultrasound, and it costed me a hell of a lot.
Well, Paul,
I hear universal health.
Next time it doesn't cost you a lot because
or you could have just not done all that and made your donation.
Speaking
and
of
I had to yell at Edge Copeland. Edge Copeland says, "Sorry, King, I can't donate this week. I got bills, and I got to pay my taxes on my car." I said, "Is this a surprise? We pay taxes on our car every fucking year. We know this is coming on your birthday every fucking year. We pay the taxes on our car." And you cook dinner every night. You're making these big ass fucking dinners because you said you're a better cook than your wife, Edge Copeland. So while you're eating your big steak dinners and your ground beef and your crab cakes and your shrimp and your mahi, whatever that's a fish, by the way, for you stupid fucks. While you're doing that, I have Filipinos who just want a fucking bowl of rice, but you want to pay taxes on your luxury car. You want to make 7-course meals for your family while I've got people that would just like a fucking bowl of rice and a cherry on top.
How dare you live well, you son.
You do you. J9E's been in and out of the hospital a little bit. So hi to J9E there. And Janine, we like to call her Janine sometimes. Princess Eunice. I sent Princess Eunice a picture of me that I took today with a new haircut because the Filipinos let me know when my hair gets too long. Bobby, you probably get a lot of complaints.
I do.
And so I sent her the picture of the haircut. Now I know Bob has never gotten a message like this, and I doubt you have either, Coltrane. Wow, Daddy, you look gorgeous.
Man, I guess I've never been
might,
called.
You might be
By the way,
surprised
Daddy,
that some of those
by the
things
way,
that Jelly
Daddy,
Bean
do you
said.
have? By the way, Daddy, do you have some fucking money for me? But you do look gorgeous.
You look beautiful, Daddy. Please send money.
Hi, Dad. I'm sorry I was late to chat. We have so many activities at the Girl Scouts thing. Me and my
Hello,
son
Daddy.
went have to make sure she got to go to the Girl Scouts. I started to call it the Ghoul Scouts. She went to the Ghoul for Halloween. They went to the Ghoul Scouts, and but me and my son went halves to make sure she got to go to the Girl Scouts camping retreat, and her and one of her friends named Queenie. My son said, I thought the dog's name was Queenie. I said, no, that was Jenny's dog was named Queenie. This is a little girl, 17, 18 years old, named Queenie. That's a Girl Scout. And then there was Gwen and Shasha and one other one whose name I forget. But 4 of her friends all got to go to the Girl Scouts. They did a little camping retreat, and they got their little uniforms and everything. So I'm glad they get to do that. And but so she's telling me that they just had tons of activities, and she thanked me for letting her do that. So much for not mentioning something. Do you mean the thing I sent you that I wasn't supposed to mention about?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I did mention it. Yeah. And then well, I didn't mention any names, though, did I?
No.
I sure did not.
Any names. No.
I didn't mention any names.
No.
I don't think I did. If I did, call me out. Did I mention any names?
No names.
Yeah. Well, don't text me that shit like that, like you're calling me fucking out or something.
We weren't going to mention the thing at all, but no. You didn't want us to be associated with it in the minimal least as. But I think I'll just wait.
You know what? I deserve to be called out because I think I did phrase it that way.
Yeah.
Did you have your nap today, Kenny?
No. No, I did not get a nap because I had to get up, watch game day. McAfee says he's having as bad a year as I'm having. He didn't tell me that, but from looking at his numbers and my numbers. But see, the guests, they don't have to pick against the spread. They're just picking winners. So the guests,
if we were just picking winners, we would be definitely like 20 or 30 games over 500.
Oh, hell yeah.
We would probably be a lot better if we were just picking winners. But that's what the guests do. The celebrity guests get to pick winners. Kenny, do you think Lee Corso should retire? Yes, I do. And here's the reason. He's had bad health. And, man, that flying wears you fucking down. There was reports last night that Mar-a-Lago had 2 ambulances at Mar-a-Lago. And I'm thinking, he looked rough towards the end. I'm thinking, that person's going to clap. And then he's eating all this shit food. I mean, I like McDonald's too, but I have it once a month. Not every
that was great that our
plane.
Future health
apparently they were there for some, why would JD Vance have 2 ambulances assigned to his detail?
Maybe he has a lot of
runs over somebody.
About.
Repeat. Both of you talking. I didn't hear you.
Go ahead, Bob.
Go first.
Oh, I said maybe he has a lot of strokes we don't know about.
I thought it was in case he just decides to run over some people.
Well, that's more, yeah, and then look like a hero when he stops to help them.
That's right.
Yeah,
hit that one.
Damn good possibility of that. So my brother was furious, the racist one, but he's the only one I got. He was furious because I sent him the message saying, hey, man, I hear there's 2 meat wagons down at Mar-a-Lago. I said, your boy, the orange orangutan rapist, may not get to take office. There's a couple of meat wagons down there. Man, you must be wearing a tin hat. I can't find that anywhere. I said, well, I doubt that Fox Entertainment is reporting that there's 2 meat wagons at Mar-a-Lago. So I sent him the shots from Elania Musk's site called X. I said, you don't think Elania would let him post this bogus information, do you? His new wife, Elania Musk. But no, I do think Lee Corso should retire. I don't know who's in worse shape, Lee Corso or Joe Biden. And Joe and Lee is still entertaining, but those trips every fucking week, getting in and out of those airports and everything, and back and forth to the hotel. And as you notice, he doesn't do the whole show. He comes out for the opening, goes away for 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes, and then comes back and does the picks. For his own health, I would like to see him. And the other thing is he just ain't as sharp as he used to be. And I mean, for a man that's 89 years old, he's pretty sharp, but he's 89. Joe Biden shouldn't be president. Trump shouldn't be president. They're too fucking old. And
Well, JR.
And Trump has many other reasons that he should not be president, but his age and his obesity is another one of those things. And you could see it in his face and listening to his rallies at the end. And he mentioned his own campaign said he was exhausted. And that's why they said he did a third of the rallies this time he did the last time, because he just fucking physically couldn't do them. And then, and you listen to him, they're always wanting to talk about how incoherent Biden is. Well, he's a fucking stutterer. Trump is not supposed to be. Kenny Bolin for president. He has his finger in the youth of America. He's drunk. He's fucking drunk again. We cannot sober him up.
Right.
I think you have to put a 0 by that 5 you donated there, Ghost.
It's a day that ends in a Y, so of course he's drunk.
Well, of course he's drunk and or high or both.
All right, folks, we'll be back on Tuesday with a special edition of Why College Football Sucks.
Well, it's called that point spread.
Why are NFL picks tanked?
And at 61%, that would be the reason. So, yeah, I will catch up on these recorded games here. Oh, by the way, my son saw Gladiator 2 and says it is phenomenal, and Denzel Washington is off the charts. And he didn't even see Gladiator 1. That's why he needs to see Gladiator 1. But, yeah, Gladiator 2, he says, is off the charts.
Oh, I actually watched Deadpool and Wolverine today. You mentioned that earlier.
You have not seen that yet?
No, watched it today.
Oh, my God. To me,
it was funny,
that was one of the most entertaining movies I have seen in a while.
It was watching Captain America, although he's not playing Captain America, with such a foul mouth. I'm like, holy crap.
Wolverine was a little salty as well. And but my favorite segment in the entire movie, the opening is great, by the way, when they're rolling the credits and everything. The opening is great and they're doing bye bye bye. But my favorite scene in the entire movie is the land of 100 Deadpools, when all the Deadpools are coming down. And you saw the blonde in the front, the blonde-headed Deadpool.
Lady Deadpool.
Oh, that's his wife. I don't know if you knew that or not.
The actress, that's his.
That's his legit wife, and they
Blake Lively.
But who was your favorite Deadpool of all the Deadpools?
Of course, I liked Cowboy Deadpool.
Okay.
Matthew McConaughey. And then Nice Pool, of course, was about as opposite of the Deadpool as you could possibly get.
I wasn't a fan.
Funny.
I wasn't a fan of Nice Pool.
Yeah. Dog Pool, of course, with that dog with that tongue that reached out all down the ear.
That was a rough-looking dog. That was a rough-looking dog. Didn't have the regenerative powers, apparently. And then, of course, he had the one Deadpool who was very susceptible to gunfire. He didn't have all the regenerative shit that. But my favorite of all the Deadpools was Baby Pool. Yes. Baby Pool had some fucking attitude. He didn't want to fuck with Baby.
Kid Pool. She's the nastiest one. They said so.
Yeah, but no, Baby Pool was my very favorite. So if you have not seen Deadpool and Wolverine, it is just entertainment from beginning to end.
White people.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
It's on Disney.
I feel sorry for black people.
Why is that?
Nazi dead. Is this a racist thing that y'all are just boycotting the Marvel movies? What's going on?
I've been waiting for everybody to be here at the same time to watch it.
Oh, well, good luck on that.
It's like roaches scattering every direction.
Girls over here. I mean, I got a babysitting thing I'm getting ready to start. If you want to send them over here and watch the pool and
Jeffrey Epstein baby pussy.
the Jeffrey Epstein Memorial Coliseum over here.
Coliseum.
I wonder if they're going to let that report loose when Trump is in. If we're going to see the detail. Well, I don't know about releasing that one. He's going to release all of these reports, but he gets to the Jeffrey, and this is Fox asking him this. Are you going to release the Jeffrey Epstein report? Maybe not that one. Because there's a lot of things in there, and a lot of things might be false. I wonder what that could possibly be that you're worried about being false, Mr. Trump. All right.
Let me just redact that real quick, and then
let's just.
He goes, okay. Let's see. It's Control H to search and replace. TRUMP replace with BIDEN.
You're talking Japanese to me. I have no idea.
Replace them all.
The video,
Opens up
the
a
video
Word
games and the
document.
trick modes were much simpler back when I played them back in '97.
That Mike Tyson punch out code.
There was not a lot of
Saying
complications.
he's
to
going to take
code
the
back
report and do a global
Back,
search
back,
of the place.
back, forward
So-
punch. You know, that was
Trump,
about as
Trump,
complicated as it got back then. All right. Well, I hope the 20 of you that tuned in tonight had a good time. And thanks
Great
the two
time.
good donors of the night, Robert Palmer and
Good Chris.
Good Chris.
And then the one
Good
bad
Chris.
donor of the night, Bad Chris.
And then Bad Chris, the worst donor of the night, other than those that didn't donate, and there were plenty of you. So, and then fuck you, StreamYard, to hit me right after we get a little money. You send me a fucking $30 bill. So fuck you, StreamYard.
It's just like your car to ruin itself as soon as you pay it off.
Pretty much.
We'll be
All right,
back
my
on
boys.
Tuesday.
Tuesday night. As a matter of fact, we will go live at 7:55 on Tuesday because we want the top 25 report to be out, and that way that'll be out, and we can talk about the top 25. Well, most importantly, the top 12, and see who the first four in and first four out are.
Yep.
All
There's,
right.
there's only one more week or two, and then we got the conference championship
We've
game.
got
That's it.
rivalry week is this upcoming week, right? So
Upcoming
Yeah.
week, and then after that, I guess is where we're getting ready for the
Championship
conference championships.
I know
And
Friday has a
there's
lot of
some
rivalry.
teams that are going to advantage by not having to play in a conference championship game because it will be
Yeah.
one less loss on their resume.
They were talking about either Boise State or SMU possibly being disadvantaged by having to play in a
Yeah,
conference championship.
SMU, Miami. I mean, maybe Miami slides in because they'll probably move up a notch or two.
One of those
this week.
teams will probably miss the playoffs because of that game.
Yeah, well, if Miami beats SMU, it's going to be hard for SMU to get in.
Yeah.
Miami's far enough up, especially after this week, they might be able to scave it. I'm anxious to see if Alabama loses. Do they fall from 7th to 13th?
I think Alabama falls at least to because this will be their
Yeah.
third loss.
It will be their third. Now, does
Yeah.
Indiana go from 5th to 13th?
I think Indiana. Well, because they lost.
The
big.
coach thought it was ridiculous that they assumed that they would fall any further than 12.
Yeah,
he thought it was
they lost big though, and well, I mean, Ole Miss lost.
Mm-hmm. So
Alabama's
they're definitely
lost.
out to 9th.
Yeah, I think Indiana falls to about a 10 or 11 probably.
Yeah, I would be very disappointed if they bump them all the way out on one because they don't do it to a lot of other teams.
No,
But then again,
especially losing to a higher ranked team. I mean, it's not like they lost to
and they're building on top of it. It wasn't like it was a home game for Indiana.
right. Yeah, I mean, it'll cost them at least 4 spots, I'm guessing, but I think they're going to end up being 10 or 11.
I'm going to predict Indiana will go from 5th to 10th.
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out. All right, guys. Tuesday night, we'll find out all those answers and entertain all 25 of you that show up.
Right on.
Thank you, all 25 of you. We love you, each and every one of you.
Each and every fucking one of you, except the ones that didn't donate. And
Digitally.
Chris.
And
Yeah.